Hello everyone and welcome back to another 1 hour Yin Yoga class. If it's your first time here, my name is Katie. On this channel I do lots of Yin Yoga. And this is another special class. It is the 6th class in our series of 1 hour Yin Yoga classes, where I'm inviting you to come to your yoga mat once a week and do an hour of Yin. And our goal for these classes is to just create some peaceful moments. So if that sounds good, there's more information about the series in the description of this video. There's also a link down there where you can sign up for some really gentle reminders to keep coming to your mat and to do your weekly Yin class. For this routine, you don't need any props. It is always nice to have some yoga blocks on standby in case you do need them. So let's get started today seated on the mat. You can sit whatever way is most comfortable for you. And when you're there, you might close your eyes, lengthen up through your spine, tuck your chin towards your chest, ground both of your seat bones into the earth. Relax your jaw. Relax your face. Relax your shoulders. And just let your awareness flow down into the rest of your body, seeing if it can also become a little bit more relaxed. Without changing your breath, just notice it coming in and out of your body. And I invite you to just remember why you came to your yoga mat. What motivates you to roll out the mat, turn on the video, and sit here right now. And as always, we'll begin this practice with a breathing exercise. And this is one we have practiced before in this series. It's 4-8 breathing. So we're breathing in for the count of 4 and out for the count of 8. And you can adjust the timing if you need to. The goal here is to make the exhalation longer than the inhalation. So let's put about 2 minutes on the clock, and you can begin 4-8 breathing. You can continue with the breathing exercise, but I just want to check in and see where your mind is. If it's not with your breath, that's okay. Bring it back now. And just see if you can relax your body a little bit deeper. We'll take a few more breath cycles here. And once you have exhaled, you can return to a normal breath. And just being the quiet witness of your own body and mind, checking in at what's happening now. And when you're ready, you can open up your eyes. And we'll start with our first Yin Yoga pose, which is caterpillar pose. So you can sit on the mat, you can also sit on a yoga block or a cushion and stretch your legs out long in front of you. Once again, ground your seat bones into whatever you're sitting on and try to have your pelvis rotating forward. Legs are about hip width distance apart and your feet are still active here, so they're not totally relaxed, they're not flexed and tense, they're just somewhere in the middle. From here, lengthen up through your spine and then fold over your legs as if you're trying to bring your nose to your knees. Hands can rest beside the legs or on them. We'll stay here in caterpillar pose for the next 3 minutes. So bring your awareness back into your breath. And now we have some new physical sensations for our awareness to get curious about. You might be feeling the stretch within your hamstrings and calves, within your lower back and along your spine, maybe even up into your neck. Caterpillar pose is also a great pose for your digestive organs. Each breath in and out helps to massage them. And as we go through these Yin Yoga poses today, as always, you can explore your edges. So your first edge is that point where you feel the stretch. You should feel as though you're challenging yourself, but you're not forcing anything. And after some time, the goalposts might move. You might notice that you can go to a deeper edge, a new point where you're a little more challenged, but still not forcing or pressuring your body into anything. And once you've found your edge, we commit to stillness, sitting there, observing the body, observing the breath. Now you can start to push yourself away from the floor, aligning your vertebrae on top of each other again. And from here, we'll floss through our shoulders by bringing the hands back behind us. Bend your knees, and if it feels okay for you, you can lift your hips up, drop your head gently back. And we'll repeat that a few more times. This is called hammock. And if hammock doesn't work for you, you're very welcome to just do whatever your body is craving after caterpillar. And when you're ready, you can make your way onto your hands and knees, releasing the spine even more with a few rounds of cat and cow. So you can have your wrists below your shoulders, fingers are spread really wide for a nice solid foundation. Knees are below the hips. Inhale to point your tailbone up, drop your belly down, bring your chest forward, look up. Exhale, point your tailbone down, round your spine, tuck your chin to your chest, and drop your head. And keep going for a few more rounds, following your own breath. Your breath is the gas that makes the engine move. So without breath, there's no movement. You can stay with this cat-cow movement, or you can come back to a neutral spine and then move your hips from side to side, looking back over your shoulder on the same side. It can also feel nice to pull your hips back towards your heels. And from this position, we'll come into our next pose, which is Anahatasana. So the knees will stay on the mat. If you need a little bit more padding for them, I definitely encourage you to fold over your yoga mat to create more cushion. We'll try to keep the hips over the knees here. It's natural for them to move a little bit, but try not to let them move too drastically. And then the hands reach towards the front of the mat. Melt your chest down to the ground. Maybe forehead will come to the mat, or it can come onto a yoga block or a cushion. For less intensity within this pose, you can take a bend into your elbows. And if at any point you feel numbness or tingling within your hands, just go ahead and bend your elbows. Bring your hands back closer to you. We're going to stay here in Anahatasana for the next 3 minutes. But as always, if you feel that 3 minutes is too long, please come out of the pose. These timelines are just a guideline. You don't have to accept them. Keeping your awareness with your body, with your breath. I know it's very easy for it to escape and to think about the future or the past, but just try your best to stay here on your yoga mat. Anything else, you can always think about it later. Take 3 more breaths here in Anahatasana if you can. Now it may take a while to get there, that's normal, but you can start to migrate onto the front of your body, coming to rest in crocodile pose. Big toes will find each other. Hands make a little pillow, and you can rest your right cheek onto your pillow or onto your hands so you're looking towards the left. And then we're going to extend our left knee out to the left. And we're just saying hello to the inner thigh here as we rest. We'll be here for 1 minute. A little optional stretch here if you're craving a back stretch at this moment is to bring your hands onto your yoga mat close to your chest and then very mindfully lift up, stretching out through your hips and your spine. And if this pose doesn't sit well with you, don't worry, you can just stay resting. We're only going to be here for about 2 or 3 breath cycles. And now you can lower yourself back down to the ground. Everybody can send that left leg out long again. And we'll set ourselves up for our next pose, which is Bowtie. So this is a great pose to open up the shoulders and the upper back. You might have a yoga block to rest your head on here, but if you don't have one, don't worry, that is totally fine. So for Bowtie, we'll bring our left hand over to the right side of the mat and then the right arm across, so your right hand is at the left side of your mat. And then you can walk your hands as far away from each other as they can go. And then drop your forehead onto the yoga block or just tuck your chin onto your top arm. It's time to release the pose. So you can bring your hands back to their proper sides. Maybe just resting for a moment in whatever way your body flops back to the earth. Now we'll find this resting pose, this time making the pillow with your hands and putting your left cheek on your hand. So you're looking over towards the right, and you can bring your right knee out to the right beside you. We'll stay here for 1 minute. You may or may not be craving a little bit of a deeper stretch within your hips and your back. If you are, you can lift your upper body mindfully off of the mat, taking a few breaths here. If you're up, come back down, and then we can all bring that right leg back down long on the mat. We'll repeat bow tie on the opposite side. So first bring your right hand over to your left and your left hand over to your right. So your left arm is on top. Push your hands away from you and then hook your chin to your top arm or rest your forehead onto a block. You can bring your hands back to their proper sides, pressing yourself back to the earth for a moment. And when you're ready, you can slide back into child's pose. Whichever version suits you best is absolutely fine. You might bring your hands back next to your feet unless you're using them for your forehead. And we're going to cocoon ourselves into child's pose for the next 5 minutes. Stretching through your spine, massaging your internal organs, opening up your hips and your shoulders. In child's pose, if you feel as though there's too much pressure on your head, you can rest it onto your hands or make fists to stack on top of each other with your hands. Alternatively, you can grab a yoga block or a cushion to put your head on. You can slowly come out of child's pose, lifting yourself back up into a seat on the mat. And we'll take a few breaths there just to let the echo of child's pose ping around your body. And we'll take a brief spinal twist here, bringing your right hand over towards your left knee, left hand back behind you. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to rotate to the left. And now we'll take it to the opposite side. And you can make your way back to center. We'll come into a pose now that is kind of a mix between deer pose and sleeping swan. So both of which we have practiced in this series, but now we're going to amalgamate them. So to begin, you can bring your right knee in front of you on your mat, and then your left leg is going to come into that deer pose position. Now, if your knee is sensitive, you can just make sure it can stay on your mat or grab a blanket or something to put in underneath it. The left leg, we're aiming to have it at a 45-degree angle, but just go with whatever works for you. And then the toes are pointed away from you. Now we'll give ourselves a moment here. We want to try to square our hips, pointing our hip bones to the top of the mat. And now we're going to keep the weight in the hips and slowly walk our hands out in front, being mindful of this front knee, that we're not putting any discomfort into it. Now you might stay here on your forearms. Or you can bring your head down onto the mat or onto your hands. We're going to stay here for 2 minutes. Feeling that stretch within your right glute, your inner thigh on the left side. Maybe you're noticing your back muscles just slowly releasing. You can pick yourself off of the mat if you're not already there. And then we'll very slowly walk both hands over to the right, keeping your torso upright, just creating this little twist. And then hands can come back onto the mat. You can shift your left knee maybe back so you're in a position to come and grab this left foot. And our goal here is just to stretch out through the quad for a few breaths. We'll release that left foot and we can swing it all the way around to the front of the mat so we can set ourselves up for deer and swan on the opposite side. So the front leg is really in whatever position feels most comfortable for you. And then the right leg is doing its 45-degree angle if it can. To really feel that stretch in your inner thigh, you want to have a straight line between your hip and your knee. Pelvis is square to the front of the mat, and then we'll slowly fold forward. Staying here for the next 2 minutes. One more breath cycle here. Create a little space between your upper and lower back teeth. And now you can push the ground away from you. And when you're back up, you might walk both of your hands over to the left, just creating a little spinal twist and bend. Really just whatever feels nice for you. And if it doesn't feel nice, don't worry about it. We can skip this part. And we'll come back and find your right foot for your right hand, opening up through your right quad. And when you're ready, you can make your way down to lie on the back of your body. You might drop into corpse pose for a few breaths here. Just feeling the effects of all of the poses you've done today so far. And from here, you can bring your right knee up into your chest, giving it a gentle squeeze, maybe rotating through your ankle, stretching out your toes. We'll come into twisted roots now. And if twisted roots is a little bit too intense, you can do a regular reclined twist. But for twisted roots, we're taking this right leg and wrapping it twice around the left. Then you might have to bring the foot back down to the mat so you can rotate your hips. We want to have the right hip over the left. And the arms can come out wide left to right. They'll help to stabilize you within the pose. And as always, we want to keep both of our shoulders connected to the ground. So if you feel as though that right shoulder is popping up off of the mat, you can use your left arm to just press it back to the floor. We'll stay here in this reclined twist for 3 minutes. If you want to go deeper in this pose, you can look over to the right. If you experience any tingling sensation within your hands, you can just bring them down closer to your body. It's time to come back slowly to the center, undoing your legs, feeling whatever you feel. Now you can take your left knee up towards your chest, giving it a gentle squeeze. Maybe giving a little bit of love and attention to your left ankles and toes. And you can come into your version of the reclined twist, maybe wrapping the right leg around the left, stacking your hips so your left hip is on top, extending the arms wide and keeping your left shoulder to the mat. To go deeper, you can look to the left, and we'll stay here for 3 minutes. We'll be here for 1 more minute. Now you can make your way back to the center. Doing whatever you need to do to release the poses. But if you feel as though stillness is what you need, you're welcome to just stay still. And when you're ready, you can make your way into corpse pose. And we'll spend the last 3 minutes of our practice here allowing your body to absorb all the benefits of the poses that you've practiced and really encouraging it to go into a deep relaxation. So bring your awareness down to the sensation of feet. And just feel your feet sinking to the earth. Bring your awareness to the sensation of knees. Feel your knees sinking to the earth. Bring your awareness to the sensation of hips. Feel your hips pressing into the earth. Bring your awareness to the sensation of shoulders. And feel your shoulders pressing into the earth. Feel the sensation of arms and hands, of thumbs and fingers. And feel them all just sinking into the earth. Bring your awareness to the sensation of head. And feel your head pressing into the earth. And stay here for the next few minutes. And then I'll let you know when it's time to come back. You can start to make small movements again, bringing yourself back to physical body. In your own time, come to lie on the right side of your body. Taking a few breaths here. And as you're here, remembering why you came here today and why you did this practice. And you should be very proud of yourself that you are now one step closer to that goal. And you can bring yourself back up into a seat on your mat. and we will officially end this class here. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found this video beneficial. If you liked it, make sure to leave the video a thumbs up, comment below, and also subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. I would love to practice with you again in the future. And on that note, class 7 will be coming your way soon, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. You can also sign up for reminders below. So I will see you on the mat again soon, but until then, take good care of yourself and goodbye.